North Korea, South Korea, DMZ. This border was drawn in 1953 after the Korean War ended in a ceasefire, not peace. The 250 kilometers demilitarized zone is ironically one of the most militarized places on Earth. Barbed wires, landmines, and thousands of troops guard both sides. Soldiers have shot defectors, propaganda speakers blare messages, and secret tunnels have been discovered. It's a Cold War scar where any small mistake can turn into a deadly international crisis. India-Pakistan. Born out of the bloody 1947 partition, the India-Pakistan border has witnessed wars in 1947, 1965, 1971, and endless skirmishes since. The main dispute is Kashmir, a paradise turned battlefield. Both sides exchange gunfire across the line of control, civilians flee shelling, and militants slip through snowy passes. Patriotism and pain coexist here, where soldiers freeze on Siachen Glacier while diplomats trade promises that rarely last long. Israel, Palestine, Gaza Strip. Created after Israel's formation in 1948, the Gaza border became even tenser after Israel withdrew in 2005 and Hamas took control in 2007. Since then, rocket attacks, Israeli airstrikes, tunnels, and deadly blockades have turned Gaza into a conflict cage. Civilians suffer the most, trapped between politics and violence. Each ceasefire feels temporary, and every new spark risks igniting a wider regional war. USA, Mexico. Stretching nearly 3,200 kilometers, this border once symbolized trade and migration dreams, but now it's a crime corridor. Since the 1990s, cartels, drug wars, and human smuggling have made it deadly. Migrants risk dehydration in deserts or drown in the Rio Grande, while U.S. agents patrol fences with drones. Violence often spills over both sides, making this frontier a mix of desperation, politics, and survival. Russia-Ukraine. The border was calm after the USSR's fall, but in 2014 Russia annexed Crimea, sparking war. Things exploded again in 2022 when Russia invaded Ukraine outright. Entire cities near the border turned into battlefields, filled with artillery, mines, and refugees. It's now Europe's most dangerous frontline, a modern reminder that old empires never die quietly, and that geography still decides the fate of nations. China, India-Ladakh border. This high-altitude border dispute dates back to colonial times, but turned violent in 1962. The line of actual control remains undefined, so soldiers from both sides patrol mountains at 15,000 feet with no clear line. In 2020, troops fought with stones and clubs in Galwan Valley, killing dozens. Freezing winds, nationalism, and mistrust keep this Himalayan frontier on the edge of explosion. Afghanistan, Pakistan, Durand Line. The Durand Line, drawn by the British in 1893, sliced through Pashtun tribal lands. Afghanistan never recognized it, and after decades of war, the area became a haven for smugglers, militants, and refugees. Taliban fighters and Pakistani troops clash frequently. Despite fencing attempts, the mountains hide routes for arms, drugs, and people, making it one of the world's most ungovernable borders. Sudan, South Sudan. When South Sudan gained independence in 2011, the joy quickly faded as disputes over oil-rich regions like Abyei spark clashes. The border is poorly marked, guarded by militias and UN troops. Cattle raids, ethnic violence, and resource wars keep the region unstable. For villagers, crossing the line means risking death, yet many still wander for water, oil, or family divided by politics. Armenia, Azerbaijan, Nagorno-Karabakh. In the late 1980s, Armenians and Azeris fought over Nagorno-Karabakh, a Soviet-era puzzle that became a bloody war. After Azerbaijan's victories in 2020 and 2023, the border remains tense with sporadic shootings and displaced families. Barbed wires and burnt villages mark the mountains, and peacekeepers struggle to keep calm. It's a border soaked in history, pride, and endless grief. Syria, Turkey. Before 2011, it was an ordinary border. Then Syria's civil war changed everything. Kurdish fighters, ISIS cells, Turkish air raids, and millions of refugees turned it into chaos. Towns on both sides have faced bombings and drone attacks. Smuggling, airstrikes, and political distrust make this not just a line between countries, but a fault line of the Middle East's endless conflict. Colombia, Venezuela. Once connected by trade and family, this border descended into lawlessness. Guerrillas, smugglers, and cartels dominate the jungle routes. Venezuela's political collapse sent millions fleeing into Colombia, creating humanitarian chaos. Occasional clashes between soldiers and rebels keep tensions high. It's a frontier of refugees, rebels, and corruption, where survival is worth more than any passport. Ethiopia, Eritrea. Eritrea broke away from Ethiopia in 1993, but both soon fought a brutal border war, 1998 to 2000, over a dusty town named Batmi. Tens of thousands died before a fragile peace. A brief 2018 handshake brought hope, but new tensions keep rising. The border remains mined and patrolled, its silence hiding decades of mistrust, nationalism, and grief that never truly ended.